What's up, my guys, and welcome back to the Wrestling Report Card. I'm your host, Cody, and today on the show, we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. What I've done is I went back and watched every single main event of every WrestleMania. I know I don't have a life, please don't remind me, and I've composed Cody's very own top 10 main event matches in the history of WrestleMania. Yes, I know coming into this, a lot of y'all are going to be like, what? That's a dumb match. This is a dumb top 10 list. This guy's dumb. How did he even put Psycho Sid and Hulk Hogan in there? I didn't. That was just a joke. I promise. Calm down. Please stay tuned. I did not put that in there. But I'm going to let you know a little bit of secret. You might think it's dumb because I'm a dumb guy. I mean, it kind of correlates. You see what I'm saying? But hey, I hope y'all do enjoy this. So without further ado, go ahead, buckle up your seatbelts, and let's get to grading the top 10 main events in WrestleMania. Coming in at number 10, the location is down in Houston, Texas. The year is 2001. The month is April. There's a light breeze from the southwest. The dew point is 62 degrees, and there is a smell in the air that only one man can smell. That's right, I'm talking WrestleMania 17, possibly one of the best WrestleManias of all time. In the main event, you got The Rock taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWF title in a no disqualifications match. And just like the first match these two had, we didn't wait to get the bell rung to open a can of whoop ass. I'll tell you what. And Stone Cold was first to take advantage of the lack of rules. He grabbed the ring bell. What? He lifted that sumbitch up. What? And he introduced that sumbitch to Rocky Cerebellum. As Austin was busy stomping a mud hole in The Rock's ass, he was so pissed off that he ended up shoving the ref down in the process. However, when he turned back around from that, there stood The Rock in front of the millions and millions with that same ring bell, and he gave Austin a Texas-sized receipt with it, leaving him all bloodied up. So Stone Cold said, hold my beer, went and grabbed a TV monitor, and gave The Rock his own crimson mask to match him. Now with both guys bloodied up, they go on to trade sharpshooters, and I guess that this ref forgot that this was a no DQ match because he broke the hold when Austin grabbed the ropes. Like what? That's why he got his behind knocked out, that dumb ref. Anyways, Rocky goes on to hit Stone Cold with a stunner and almost had the win, but Austin kicked out at the last second. Then, down the entrance ramp comes none other than Stone Cold's biggest nemesis. That's right, it's Mr. McMahon. Rocky took advantage quickly, and by God, he hit the people's elbow. The ref counts to 1, the 2, and just as he was about to hit the mat for the 3, Mr. McMahon reaches in and pulls The Rock off of Austin. With everyone in that stadium in absolute shock, the infuriated Rocky started going crazy, chasing Vince all around the ring, but all The Rock ran into was a rock bottom, courtesy of Stone Cold. Austin then took the ref out again, gave The Rock a low blow, and then he did the unthinkable. Austin grabbed The Rock's arms, held him back, and let Mr. McMahon crack a steel chair over The Rock's head. With the ref slow to get up though, somehow Rocky not only kicked out, he got up and drilled Stone Cold with the rock bottom. However, Rocky then slipped up by turning his attention back to Mr. McMahon, which allowed Stone Cold to get back up, hit the stunner, followed by another chair shot, but even that wasn't enough to keep The Rock down. So Stone Cold logically figures that nobody can kick out from like 87 chair shots, so that's exactly what he did. And it worked, because even The Rock couldn't kick out for a third time, as Austin, with the help of Mr. McMahon, shocked the entire world and got the 1-2-3 to become the new WWF champion. And yes, you get the iconic picture of Stone Cold and McMahon sharing a beer over The Rock's lifeless corpse of a body. And that was just number 10, Cody? You bet your gosh darn rear end it was. Next up, coming in at the 9th spot, we go to the year of 1996. We're in Los Angeles, California. You have Bret the Hitman Hart defending his championship against Shawn Michaels. And for the first time ever in the main event of WrestleMania, we are going to have the championship belt on the line in an Iron Man match. And for those of y'all that don't know, an Iron Man match means we put 60 minutes on the clock. At the end of that, whichever wrestler has the most pinfalls is declared the winner. Now, if you know the history between these two guys, it is no shocker that this was just an all-out brawl. HBK does a great job throughout the match, focusing on that left shoulder of the Hitman. Then about 15 minutes in, HBK goes for the sweet chin music outside the ring, but he missed and ended up taking out the timekeeper instead. Fast forward to the halfway mark, and business is picking up, my guy. First, you got Hart with the pile driver. Then, it's HBK on the top rope, and he flies, hitting the crossbody onto the floor. As As HBK climbed the ropes to fly again, Bret Hart gets back in the ring, so HBK changed course and hit the splash in the ring, but somehow the Hitman rolled through, nearly getting the first fall. 45 minutes in, we're still 0-0, so the Hitman starts sending Michaels crashing into everything. His manager, the steel steps, his manager again. With that bum shoulder, Hart decided to even the odds as he was going to go work on HBK's notoriously injured lower back throughout all this, and boom, 53 minutes in, Hart hits the top rope superflex, Michaels kicked out. 57 minutes in, Michaels lands the top rope elbow drop, Hart kicked out. 58 minutes, Michaels with a moonsault. 34 seconds on the clock, the Hitman finally connected on the sharpshooter. However, Michaels was tough enough to hold on till the clock struck 0. Remember, even though it was a tie and nobody lost, that still means that the champion Bret Hart retained his belt, and just as the Hitman began his celebration, out came Rowdy Roddy Piper, who demanded there be a winner, so we're going to sudden death overtime. Hart walked back into the ring, however, unfortunately, he walked straight into a two-piece order of some sweet chin music, and in the Anaheim screw job, Michaels gets the cover and gets the 1-2-3. I will say, as great as this match was, my only knock is why couldn't we have just had this happen within the 60-minute time limit? This crowd was electric in that last 8 or 9 minutes. However, that delay and going into overtime definitely took a lot of the excitement, a lot of the buzz out of that finish. With that Iron Man match coming in at a 91.9%, this next one barely edged it out. The year is 2009. The city, once again, is Houston, Texas. Coming in at number 8 with a 92%, it's Triple H defending his title against Randy Orton. And one of my favorite build-ups of all time, Randy Orton was in full savage mode as he not only wiped out all of Triple H's in-laws, he even went as low as to handcuffing the game to the ring while he kissed Stephanie McMahon. Woo. So after all that, we get to the stadium. After the intro, after the pyro, we get right down to business. Within the first few minutes, out of nowhere, boom, we get an RKO. However, Triple H was able to avoid the Orton punt, and they landed with the pedigree and the spine buster. Then Triple H goes to the top rope, but he flew right into quite possibly the most beautiful drop kick of all time. Now, one thing to note in this match is that there is a stipulation to where if Triple H loses by disqualification, he loses his belt. And the ref had to remind him that when Triple H grabbed that TV monitor and looked at Randy Orton like Myles Garrett was looking at Mason Rudolph with that helmet in his hand. Back to the action. As the ref retrieved that monitor and was busy with it, Orton struck quickly as he slammed Triple H on the announce table before grabbing his head, hitting that draping DDT onto the floor. Back to the ring they go, and the ref gets taken out. After an RKO, Orton goes to grab the game's sledgehammer, but Triple H was quicker than that as he landed a punt of his own before grabbing that sledgehammer, wiping Randy Orton out with it, and once the ref came to, Triple H hit the pedigree, gets the 1-2-3, and walks out of Houston with that title. Well, get ready to turn the clocks back, because coming in at number 7 with a 93%, we go to 1990. We're in Toronto, Canada. You've got the world champion Hulk Hogan taking on the intercontinental champion, the Ultimate Warrior. That's right, it's title versus title in a winner-take-all match, and we have an electric crowd here up in Toronto. The two started off trading scoop slams before the Warrior hit a clothesline, sending Hogan crashing over the top rope. During this move, Hulk's left knee tweaked and got injured, so you know what that means. The Warrior started beating on that leg like it owed him money, my guy. We moved forward, and after a near double countout, the Warrior got to his feet. He started getting fired up, and I tell you what, that son bitch was running through the holster like he was OU's D-line. I know JBL like that one. Anyways, during him just going absolutely nuts, the Warrior accidentally laid out the ref. Both guys then go on to hit a big slam, but with the ref still out, no one was there to make the count. After some more roll-ups, the ref was slowly starting to come to. Warrior finally hit his gorilla press, but somehow the holster kicked out, and by God, Hulkamania was running wild. Nothing, and I mean nothing that the Warrior did could phase him. Hulk laid him out, set him up for the leg drop, but he missed. The Ultimate Warrior acted quickly as he climbed the ropes, went for the frog splash, and he landed that sumbitch. He got the 1-2-3 to hand Hulk Hogan his first ever loss at WrestleMania, and it was a clean loss at that. Coming in at number 6 with a 94%, we have the only match on this list that isn't your traditional one-on-one match. No, we're going to get on the jet. We're flying back to LA. We're going back to the year 2000. It's Y2K or Y2J as us wrestling fans like to call it. We got a fatal 4-way where there is a member of the McMahon family in each wrestler's corner. That's right. You got Triple H. You got The Rock. You got The Big Show and Mick Foley in a fatal 4-way elimination match. So, whenever somebody gets pinned, they are eliminated, and when we get down to the last two, the last man standing will be declared the winner. So after the intros, after the pyro, the Big Show got off to a dominating start before Mick Foley came by and hit him with the low blow. Foley, Triple H, and The Rock all then teamed up on the Big Show, laying him out before The Rock made the cover, getting the 1-2-3 to eliminate him. We then get down to the last 3, and The Rock and Sock Connection team up once again on the champ Triple H. Mick Foley went and grabbed the ring bell. He passed it to The Rock, but when Rocky swung it, Triple H ducked, sending that bell crashing into Foley's skull. Mick Foley then pulled out Socko on both guys before Triple H went on and landed about 47 low blows. I tell you what, that guy touched more balls than a golf bag. We move on, and Foley's got The Rock laid out on the announce table, and just as Triple H convinced him to hit the elbow drop from the ropes, the game turned on Foley, hitting him with the pedigree, a chair. Hell, he even hit him with a pedigree onto the chair before covering him, getting the 1-2-3 and eliminating Foley. However, on his way out, Foley grabbed a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire and he smacked Triple H with it. Foley, Foley. So now it's Triple H with Stephanie McMahon in his corner on one side, and on the other side it's The Rock aligned with Vince McMahon. First, you got The Rock with the suplex on the steel ramp. Triple H followed that up with some chair shots and a pile driver on the steel steps. The Rock not only kicked out, but that sumbitch got up and superplexed the game onto the announce table. During all of this, Vince and Shane McMahon get into a brawl where Vince ended up with a steel chair in his hands. Vince then did the unthinkable as he took that chair, turned on The Rock, and gave him the chair shots heard around the world. This allowed Triple H to crawl over, make the cover, to get the 1-2-3. And I gotta say, this was done very well and had everyone in that stadium and me fooled until the end. Afterwards, The Rock was able to get his revenge as he rock bottomed all 3 McMahons and even hit Stephanie with the people's elbow. Ooh, we're getting down to the nitty gritty now, baby, because we're entering the top 5 and barely edging out that number 5 spot with a 94.1% in what's known as the heist of the century. The year's 2015. The city is the San Francisco Bay Area. You've got Brock Lesnar defending against Roman Reigns with a special guest somebody. And if you know, you know. If you don't know, well, sit back, relax, and get ready for a little story time with Adam Cole, baby. Like I said, it's Brock Lesnar taking on Roman Reigns in their first of 27 WrestleMania main event matches. Roman busted Brock open within the first 10 seconds of the match. However, all that did was piss my guy off as he hit Roman with a suplex, immediately followed by an F5, followed by 4 more suplexes, and in the middle of all this, Brock says those 3 little words that will make any guy weak in his knees. Suplex City, bitch. Now, there's no sugarcoating this. This was one of the most physical WrestleMania main events that I have ever seen. These two were landing knees on each other that would have made Anderson Silva cringe. As Roman was getting back in the ring, Brock decided, hey, I'll help my guy out, as he suplexed him back over the ropes into the ring and followed that up with his second F5. However, when he went for the cover and put the big dog down, somehow Reigns was able to kick out. So Brock then turned the soon-to-be tribal chief into Chris Rock when he just started slapping him in the face over and over before hitting him with 2 more suplexes and yet another F5. But once again, somehow Reigns kicked out. He then sends a frustrated Lesnar headfirst into the ring post, and then boom, back-to-back Superman punches onto the wobbly champ, and then he hit 2 spears, but even that wasn't enough as the champ kicked out. Just as Reigns went for another Superman punch, Brock caught him mid-air and F5'd him, so now both guys are down, when all of a sudden, you hear the music hit for none other than Seth Rollins, who had just won the Money in the Bank briefcase, and you know why he's here. He catches that sumbitch in, he curb stomped Brock, but he knows that's not enough. As he went to hit it a second time, Brock caught him midair, but before he could F5 him, out of nowhere, it's Reigns with the spear on Lesnar. But then, that damn Seth Rollins not only curb stomped his former Shield teammate, he pinned him, winning the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and stealing Roman Reigns' long-awaited WrestleMania moment. I mean, what a Oh, can't say that. What a Richard. I thought my friends were terrible. I mean, they are pretty bad though, because last night they drank my last Coors Light. And if the mountains ain't blue, well, that makes Cody a sad panda. I tell you what, you know what? They are worse than Seth Rollins. Seth, you keep doing what you do, my guy. Well, I gotta move on, because coming in at number 4, for the first time having fans back in a WWE ring, we go to our most recent main event on the list at a 95% from Tampa Bay, Florida, the year's 2021. You got Bianca Belair taking on Sasha Banks for the WWE Women's title, and I just gotta say that this is awesome. As for the first time ever, we have 2 black women main event in WrestleMania, and I know the impact that this had on a lot of young girls all over the world, and I love that they got to experience this like I did growing up. Now, these ladies did not just get this main event slot for that reason either. Oh no, these 2 are downright badass women who earned their way to this spot. So without further ado, let's grade this sumbitch. Now, after a feeling out process from these 2 to start the match, Sasha was the first to strike with a tope suicida, or so we thought, because Bianca was able to roll through, pick her up, walk her all the way up the steel stance with her pressed over her head back into the freaking ring. I mean, holy shit. WWE knows they have a bona fide stud with her. Belair followed that up with a power slam and a standing moonsault, but Banks was able to counter by grabbing her 4-foot-long ponytail and just yanking it. Kind of a Richard move there, Sasha. Not only did she do it once, she went for it again, but Belair was ready as she pulled her own hair, sending Sasha crashing into the ring post. Bianca then continued to show off her physical dominance by hitting a beautiful delayed suplex, and I tell you what, she put my guy Bill Goldberg to shame with that one as she held Sasha up in the air for at least 15 seconds. Afterwards, business started to pick up, my guy. Sasha once again went for the ponytail, but Bianca had had enough. First, she landed a couple clotheslines before landing a running shooting star press, followed by the glam slam. Bianca then climbed the ropes to set up her 450 splash, but the champ was able to get her knees up just in time. Bianca then goes on to answer with back-to-back power bombs. However, Sasha somehow kicked out and even went on to counter the third one before hitting her own springboard tornado DDT. However, Bianca kicked out. Banks hit again, this time with a splash, and instead of going for a cover yet again, she smartly applied the Banks statement. However, this time, Sasha wrapped Bianca's hair around her own arm and then pulled her hair for leverage. I mean, sheesh. Thankfully, Bianca was able to reach the ropes. Now Sasha messed up when she started running her mouth to Bianca, because all that did was piss the EST off. After a couple swing and misses from the champ, Bianca finally connected on that 450 splash, but Banks was able to kick out at 2.99. So as frustrated as can be, what does Sasha Banks do? Well, she went for the hair yet again. So this time, Bianca grabbed her own ponytail and she just started whipping Sasha Banks with it. That had to hurt, because I tell you what, that noise echoed throughout the entire stadium. Anyways, that ultimately led to Miss Belair hitting her patented KOD slam onto Banks to get the 1-2-3 and become the new SmackDown Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. I mean, what a slobber knocker, ladies. Well done. I told you things were going to get a little spicy. Now, barely edging out that number 3 spot, we get on the plane. We go to Boston, Massachusetts. The year is 1998, when things were oh so simpler. And in what many consider to be that match, that rivalry that put the WWF into the big time, as Becky Lynch would say, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin taking on Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, in the main event of WrestleMania 14. And I tell you what, this rivalry was so heated that for this match, we needed a special guest ring enforcer. Now, this enforcer couldn't be any old Joe Blow down the street. Oh no, we needed the baddest man on the planet, and that's exactly who we got, as none other than Mike Tyson was announced to be ringside. In one of the most electric build-ups, Tyson and Austin seemed like 2 bulls in a china shop just ready to lock horns. Stone Cold not only claimed that he wanted a piece of Mike Tyson's ass, what? But he told Tyson, you got your beady little eyes locked on the eyes of the world's toughest son of a bitch. So after we hear the glass break and we all sing Sexy Boy in an embarrassingly high-pitched voice, the bell rings and we're getting down to business. And it doesn't take long for Tyson and Austin to get in each other's faces, and I tell you what, that crowd was going crazy. Stone Cold not only has to worry about Tyson, but also Triple H and Chyna, who were both ringside for the champ. You know they were trying to get involved. And it didn't take long for them to, as Triple H attacked Austin, but he ain't that slick. The ref caught him in 4K and booted both Triple H and Chyna from ringside. HBK spent most of the match focusing on that left knee of Austin, and at one point he had him in a sleeper, but Stone Cold broke out. But when he did, he took out the referee in the process. HBK started tuning up the band. He immediately went to hit some sweet chin music, but Austin countered. He then went for the stunner, had it blocked once, but the Texas Rattlesnake went for that sumbitch again, this time landing it. But remember, he laid out the referee, so there was no ref there to make the count. At this point, Tyson got in the ring and he double-crossed Michaels. He counted the 1, 2, 3, giving Stone Cold the win and making him the brand new WWF champion. When HBK finally came to and realized what had happened, he got up in Mike Tyson's face, and I don't know what he thought was gonna happen, but yeah, all he got was a right hand and a good night's sleep, courtesy of Tyson, and no one is getting up from that, my guy. Woo, man. Coming in at the number 2 spot, the year is 2010, we fly out to Phoenix, Arizona, coming in with a 96%. For all you Shawn Michaels fans, you ain't gotta wait long, cause in at the number 2 spot is Shawn Michaels taking on The Undertaker, part 2. It's the streak versus the career. After beating Shawn Michaels the previous year, Taker puts his 17-0 streak on the line, whereas Michaels vows that if he does lose, he will retire, which he actually did, well, until that tag match in Saudi. But as we've had to learn, what happens with the legend in Saudi stays in Saudi, my guy. Back to the match. After the bells toll and the bell rings, we're off. Early on, Taker tweaked his left knee. HBK noticed, and he zoned in on that sumbitch, eventually tying up the Phenom in the figure 4. Taker went on to hit the tombstone outside of the ring, but that knee stopped him from making the cover in time. We get back in the ring, and I mean, just listen to this. Michaels countered the last right. Taker countered the elbow drop. Michaels countered the Hell's Gate, and boom, he struck with the sweet chin music, but somehow the Phenom was able to kick out. Taker responded with the last ride. Now it's Michaels who kicked out. Taker then went on to set up for the last ride again, this time out on the announce table. Somehow Michaels countered, laying Taker out on the table. He then climbed the ropes and hit a beautiful moonsault, crashing the big man through the table. He then dragged Taker back in the ring, gave him his second dose of sweet chin music, but once again, somehow, the dead man kicked out. As Michael started tuning up the band for yet another one, Taker got up and countered with the choke slam tombstone combo, but by God, he ain't wrestled WrestleMania for nothing. HBK kicked out, but then my guy, you done messed up here. HBK started mocking the dead man and even slapped him in the face. So Taker grabbed that sumbitch, hit the third and final tombstone, giving him the 1, 2, 3, and retiring the Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania at WrestleMania. Well, folks, we finally made it. We're at the number 1 spot on this list and coming in with a 97%. 2 years prior to the 2001 encounter in the main event in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the home of ECW and Brotherly Love, of course, you got The Rock taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin. And going into this match, Mr. McMahon assigned himself as the referee, and it's no secret that he is not a fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. However, before the match, down came Shawn Michaels, who declared that Vince can assign a referee, and went on to boot the boss from ringside. I wish we could all get a chance to do that. As we get another ref coming down, before we could even get the bell rung, Austin and Rocky just started teeing off on each other. We finally get the match started, and before you know it, we have Stone Cold barely kicking out of the rock bottom. The Rock then tried to get a steel chair involved, but Austin grabbed that sumbitch from him. During this though, he accidentally laid out the ref. That seems to be a theme on this list. Anyways, Rocky then got the chair back and nailed Stone Cold with it. Another ref came down, but this delay led to Stone Cold being able to kick out again. The Rock was so mad that he grabbed the referee in front of the millions and millions, and he hit that sumbitch with a rock bottom. However, when he turned around, he walked straight into a stunner. Now, our third ref was making his way down the ref, which allowed The Rock to kick out. Vince McMahon then popped back up, laying out the new ref. Poor guy. The Rock and McMahon then started stomping a mud hole into Austin, when out of nowhere, Mankind, Mick Foley appeared. He laid out McMahon and is now our 4th referee. Yes, 4th of this match. Rocky struck quickly with the rock bottom, but he missed on the people's elbow, which allowed Stone Cold to capitalize as he got got up, he hit the stunner, what? He got the 1, 2, 3, what? And he recaptured, what? His title from The Rock. Well, that wraps everything up today. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And now look, I know a lot of y'all are mad that Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy didn't make the list, but there's only 10 spots, my guy. Y'all gotta give me a break on that. Well, go ahead, like the video, go ahead, go in the comments, let me know how dumb I am for this list, because trust me, I'm gonna agree with you probably. And other than that, I hope y'all subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Cody. I hope everybody stays safe and have a nice day.